Here we are, third place match in Wandering Warriors Cup. We've got the big final coming up later on, and we've got Sebastian. He's looking for a TC in the middle with Bengalis, and then we have the TC on the outside for Vinchester. He's going with the same civ he did in his semifinal. He's going with the Franks on the outside.
Yeah, and his eco was insane in the semifinal, right? Like, he had a huge eco advantage over ACCM, who went to the middle. He managed to do a ton of damage. He also took a ton of damage trying to get to the middle gold. And I think there was an argument there to just stay on the outside and pick away. So maybe he's like learned some lessons from that match. But it is a different civ matchup this time around. It's not the Armenians. It's the Bengalis he's going to have to fight up against.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up against the Armenians, you're not really expecting anything crazy early on. You're expecting them to build the fortified church, to try and get some relics, to try and boom, and maybe use the mule cart early. That's really the craziest thing. But the Bengalis, there's two crazy things that they could do beyond just the boom. They could go for the fast castle Ratha, which we've seen. They could also go all-in monks. And then, like I said, they could also just kind of boom up because they have good economy as well. So I think scouting is going to be key for Vinch. If you don't scout where the opponent is and what they're doing, you're going to have a really tough time.
Oh, he killed the board.
Oh
again,
my
Tristan.
God, dude.
We warned people about this, and he keeps doing it. Like, the TC will keep targeted on the boar.
Yeah.
So when you garrison an additional villager,
It
you
still
will
fires.
keep shooting the boar. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Vinchester has done this, what, 3 times now?
I mean,
like the last 2 days?
He's in the third place match. he's done a good job despite that. But yeah, I mean, he's been a repeat offender with that. Thankfully, he finds another boar. Thankfully, he had a sheep nearby to help him out here. And there's lots of boars on the map. But yeah, I'm torn on it, right? I'm frustrated because you don't want to see a great player make that mistake. You think they'd learn the lesson. We'll see if he does it here. But also, I do feel bad because like 3 years of muscle memory is what's going into that. And the recent change does influence that a little bit.
It's kind of funny because until you mentioned it, that it changed back, I didn't think that behavior had changed at all.
Did you just think you got way better at not losing it?
because you would learn to play around that.
Yeah, okay.
You wouldn't do it,
Yeah.
right? So you wouldn't like garrison that final villager at the last second. You'd shoot it with more arrows initially.
Oh my God.
And Sebastian almost lost that villager to the boar. That was a wild decision to go for the palisade wall there. But he's going to end up shooting it, and he's going to end up getting this boar in okay. But yeah, I didn't know that behavior had changed like 2 years ago or whenever it did until you mentioned it.
Yeah,
it was no idea.
So to explain it again, I guess, because we have a couple people asking. So basically, for the last 3 years, if you would shoot a boar with the TC and then ungarrison your vills, if you re-garrison, the TC no longer had a target. It would not fire arrows anymore. But like between like the year 2000 to like 2019 or whatever, it would still fire arrows. And they just changed it back to this most recent patch. So Vinch, his final arrow, I guess with however he does it, he would always garrison that one additional vill at the last second to save it, and it would just kill the boar. So anyways, that's the explanation there. We got the TC in the middle for Sebastian. They're both getting their boars. Again, thankfully, it's not like a map where there's not boars everywhere else and other food sources for Vinch. I think for Vinchester here, maybe the best play is just scouts and adapt. Now, not feudal age scouts, but light cav can give you enough information on what's happening around the map. It keeps you safe from monks. Just feels like a smooth play for the Franks.
Yeah, I think so. As long as you don't add too many, like 3 on the way up, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you can scale it from there, right? Like depending on what your opponent's doing. That's why playing into light cav is so nice. Nowadays, it's just players are so good at adapting and just, scaling it a little bit. They won't hard commit to 4 or 5 scouts. They'll usually go for 3 and see what's going on with their opponent.
Yeah, and I like if Sebastian doesn't have a castle, those scouts are going to give you value if the vills are on the deer, or even if vills are walking from the TC to the woodline on the outside. So I like that idea, but you are a little worried right now if you're Vinchester that it's going to be something crazy from Sebastian. He did find the TCs towards the middle, without losing his horse. He sees the stones on the outside, so he can double-check that later. But this is kind of the same predicament we had Vinchester in yesterday. I guess it is kind of helpful now. He had the experience yesterday. He would have been able to think of what went wrong, why he wasn't able to break ACCM in the same scenario.
Remember, he went Cav Archers as an opening.
Oh, true.
Now,
yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's going to be as effective against Bengalis.
Agreed.
We'll see.
Agreed. Yeah, Vinch is also keeping a really close eye on that boar there. Sebastian actually attacked Vinch's horse. So Sebastian might not end up bringing in that boar. You could tell Vinch is just kind of waiting for that boar to move. I think if you know your opponent's horse is out there, you might just want to skip that one if you're Sebastian, especially when you already have
Sebastian,
the additional bills.
Still no loom, right? And there's a whole lot of water to run across, and you can't put foundations on that water. So you can't stall out that hunt. I think he still might take it. Even with that horse around, he hasn't seen it in a while, but Vinchester is kind of hanging out, waiting. And Sebastian's chopping the wood, so maybe he just chops the wood. And
Vinch is coming back. Vinch is like, what's that Bill doing? And
just
now he sees
wood,
the Bill.
And now chopping wood, no big deal.
And now Sebastian's like, okay, I can't go take it. Really, I think you'd want to be out of the villager's line of sight. But yeah, that Bill's just going to go over to the wood line there. That's smart from Sebastian.
He's getting loom. He might grab it.
I mean, he did bring in another boar in the meanwhile, so it's not like
He's
that one was
bringing his
blocked.
horse back. He's thinking about it. And now Vinch is like, hang on a second. I thought I had this dealt with.
Yep.
Hang on a second.
If the horse is back, you know something's up, right? And here we go. Oh, boar was moving. And now Sebastian is acting like he doesn't want to take
Too much
it anymore.
effort. Yeah, too much effort. Just go back. Meanwhile, Vinchester walling up fully, just like he did before. He's going to get he has 2 mills on the berries, so he's taking a lot of food from those. And there's another berry bush in the back, too.
Yep, another berry bush in the back. That'll actually be a really satisfying looking mill for any Tetris fans. And the villagers underneath the TC have run out of food. But with 630 food and double berries, I think he's going to be fine.
Is it a satisfying looking mill for
Dude,
Tetris fans, though?
No, it's not.
Is it a satisfying looking mill for Tetris fans? I don't think. I'm a Tetris fan. I don't find that satisfying at all.
Oh, we have the boar coming in. Boar is coming in. That's a very weak horse, but you can't attack the horse with anything but the Vil.
He's going to get this. Yeah, he's going to get it.
Yeah, the fact that Sebastian took some HP off of that horse there with his TC a second ago is really important. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad mill, by the way, but it is a bad mill for Tetris fans. It's not great.
Now you're going to need like an S piece or like a Z piece or something, and then it's just going to be weird.
Or another L.
You need an L. Yeah,
you need another L
here.
berries to just squeeze around there, yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of be like Spiral's berries. Only Spiral's berries, you never want to place the Tetris mill either. If you place the mill in there, your bills get stuck.
All right, so resources for Sebastian, looking great. Fairly easy to go fast castle on this map. There's plenty of boars. Didn't even need that final one, but that's going to give him a nice little food boost. And he's going on to stone, so he's thinking Ratha.
I like it. Yeah, I think Monks doesn't feel very natural, right? Because the light cap play is the most likely from Franks. And Cav Archer...
Does Mitch not have a second building?
He was late with the barracks. That's not too bad. I mean, his eco's super smooth.
Yeah, he'll build it with 3.
So he'll get it up. But it's not as fast as it could be. And Sebastian's going to bring a bunch of Vils to the outside. The key now for me is that Vinchester checks. I mean, when he checked the stone earlier, there was no Vils on it. But that doesn't mean there won't be villagers there now. And I think his horse is coming over here to double check that now.
Wall's coming up from Sebastian. He's still exposed on the outside until he gets a TC up there. And very limited wood. So I don't know if he's going to have enough wood for that town center on the outside. He might just go right into the castle military production, then slowly work his way through there. But there's no military for Vinchester to really harass that. Sebastian just moved that horse a little bit. He's still within range of the TC, I think.
Is he trying to bait him to garrison there?
He might be. He might be.
It gets to that point with these guys where they just say, like, I'm going to sit there for an extra second to the point where he thinks I've maybe forgot, and then I'll just pull the horse to the side.
Okay, does the horse from Winchester see the stone?
Has to.
He definitely will have the line of sight, and he's going to see the Vills on stone.
Yep. Okay, so this is the only time that Winchester's maybe really thought about this. It's a little late, right? He did actually just cancel his second stable, and that second stable was pretty high percentage as well. So he changes his plan. He definitely was thinking it was a lot of monks if he was going second stable originally. And he's going to walk to the middle.
Sebastian sees the Vills too. So Sebastian will have a castle target if he wants to drop a castle here, but he also sees the scouts.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a risk, right?
Almost feels like Winchester is going to walk a little bit further here. I would just place a safe gold, a safe TC on the gold. There's the castle. Sebastian's got a weak villain there. It is Winchester we're talking about.
Yeah, that won't be denied. There's a TC there. You can just easily wall this off.
And then the key for Sebastian will be how he balances his eco, because ideal world for me is you get a TC up on wood right away. So I think right when he gets the 100 stone, he's going to pull most of the stone miners, build the TC, and he'll do that now. And yeah, he's got 1 on stone. So this is not a follow-up castle build. This is just Ratha for map control. Good overall eco build for Sebastian.
I would love to see a single Mangonel, though, if he can squeeze it in. Just to start pressuring that TC with Ratha protecting it, I think might be nice.
Yeah, I like that. And I think Vinch is going to be happy that for the time being, it's going to take time for Sebastian to deal with these scouts. He can keep Sebastian on the move. But Vinch also needs to think about how he's going to deal with those Ratha. And there's no easy answer. Ratha actually destroys scouts in a 1v1 because of the melee attack being 10 and the 105
Ratha
HP.
They kind of do well against knights as well.
Yeah, they're really good. Like, the armor is insane.
It used to be that the melee version was never used, and now the melee version is much better than the range version as he snipes a villager.
It's such a weirdly balanced unit because the later the game goes, kind of feels like the worse the Ratha are. But if you make them at this stage of the game, they're stronger than most other things that someone can make out of an archer range or a stable.
I want a global toggle for them. I don't want to switch
Agreed.
hotkey back and forth. I want a melee hotkey and a range hotkey.
I agree.
As he snipes all the hunt. Just so that you don't have half of your units on melee and half of them on range. And then you toggle them and half toggle the melee and half toggle the range. It's just like, no.
Yep, I agree. I think that needs to come. I also think that, I mean, this is a whole nother conversation, but I do actually think the Fast Castle Ratha build is absolutely busted on other maps. So I actually think there needs to be a slight balance change as well, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's Ratha everywhere right now. And again, they could do 10 base attack like a knight, and they also now have the ranged attack because Sebastian got up to Bodkin. Vinch can't really do much against this except hope that his monks can get conversions, and he's Franks, dude. So he's under a lot of pressure everywhere right now. I don't have a lot of suggestions for Vinch of what to do against this.
No, I mean, he got that TC up, but you just didn't have the resources to really go for a follow-up. It's just the monastery and hope at home to keep yourself safe. It's not even like you're significantly ahead in eco over Sebastian. Sebastian's Bengali's got 4 extra vills just from getting to Castle Age. He's got that second TC up already. And all you have are the scouts that are currently dying to the Wrath on the front.
Yeah.
Monastery on either TC and all in on stone, I guess.
I think it's just the perfect game from Sebastian. He's made a ton of Ratha. He knows that he needs to use this map control in a way to take Winchester off of gold. And he's like really heavy on stone on the outside right now as well. So he might be able to break in and do more damage to Vinch. But his plan is a castle on that TC.
Forward castle, yep. Yeah. Ratha going after the monk. Can they get it? Nope. Nice job from Vinch. Sanctity on the way. So he's got monks at home. Monks in the base in the middle. He's run out of wood in the middle there, so he has to go all in on that 1 gold. And he's just hoping that Sebastian doesn't show up with like 20 Ratha and overwhelm his monks and break in through the walls. And Sebastian has 14 Ratha right now. There's also going to be that follow-up castle you talked about pretty soon.
It's honestly just a perfect game from Sebastian, dude. Like, I'm trying to suggest different things to Vinch, but you'd have to go back in time. I think you'd have to see the stone a little bit earlier. You'd have to maybe open with an archer range or something because you knew it was going to be Ratha. Even then, that would pose some risks. The Ratha are just going to dive underneath the TC, shoot the Monk. Vinch is not expecting this. So now they're in. Vinch is dropping a castle, though, next to his TC in the middle.
Yeah, and he converted a Ratha, so these will eventually die, but they're going to take villagers with them, I think, before they do.
Look at the idle time for Vinch. He already had to abandon so many farms. He's got 2 on food. Crazy idle eco time because of all the reactions here.
Sebastian can see that castle too, so maybe the priorities change a little bit here. Is there a justification for like forcing your way up to Imp if you can from Sebastian? Or are you just fine with this situation?
What about... I mean, if he had more on food, Imp would feel natural. So, the 2 things that came to mind for me. One is crazy, and you sell off all your stone and buy the food, but then you only have 1 castle for Ratha. Oh, there he goes.
I think it may be castle in the north.
Ah, he just sold the stone.
Oh, okay.
So he actually just sold his stone, which is nuts. The other thing I was going to say is you just walk over and castle drop Vinchester's base. Vinch is already having a problem. But, I mean, you don't need a castle here to do damage, it seems. Because all the monks go down for Vinch. And Vinch still just has no answer to these units right now.
Dude, he sold so much stone. And he could only buy like 400 food. And now we have 700 food. And he's got 100 gold in the bank. He's still a ways away from it.
Yeah.
Like, he has to do some balancing here.
The other argument could have been maybe you drop your castle in range of
In the
Vinch's
north
castle.
of that TC.
Yeah,
I think
too.
like north of that monastery could have been good.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I could see the argument, but with how idled Vinch's eco is right now, Vinch is never making it to Imp. And Sebastian is balanced it out kind of perfectly here. He's super close to clicking up. This just seems unstoppable, honestly. I think you would have needed to... The scouts clearly didn't look good. It made sense for the Franks based on the Frank bonuses, but it just didn't do too much for Vinchester here. And these Ratha have they've just dominated the whole game. It's tough. Vinchester's played a good game, but Sebastian's played a perfect game, and Sebastian's on the way to Imp now, too. He's only behind by 3 vills. He will get
can go for
more
another
vills out of
castle.
his TCs as well.
He can go for another castle, but like you said, once Imp comes in, like Vinchester's not even close. And
Yeah.
the stone price is not going to be amazing either for him if he wants to sell and do the same thing.
True. Yeah, I think if Vinch could maybe go for Rams and a castle drop to push the middle castle. If Sebastian doesn't have a castle for Trebs, this does become a very different game.
How do you push that against Ratha?
Yeah, exactly. The Ratha can just switch to melee mode. I don't have... Usually I'm trying to think of ideas of what someone can do, and it's very clear that there's an option out here, but this is just...
Oh, Vince, you gotta stop these vills, man. Oh, no. Just ran into the main Ratha army. Sebastian's gonna find him. Vinchester maybe trying to expand a little bit. He only loses 1 vill. He's still got the monks, but Imperial Age is a minute away. Might be a minute until just death.
I love how active Sebastian has been with these Rathas. He's been everywhere. He's been around the gold TC. He's been on both sides of these walls. Vinch just doesn't know where he's going to be. And now Vinchester sees he's over here. So he's going to try to escape to the other side. But Sebastian's just sitting there, waiting for him to expand. And Sebastian's on the middle TC again. Like, what is Vinchester supposed to do when everywhere he goes, there's a ball of Ratha?
And Vinchester not liking the looks of that Imperial Age, Tristan.
No.
Not liking the looks of that at all. He's out.
Yeah, Imp is going to be in. Oh, apparently I was a couple seconds behind. And yeah, the GG's called. Yeah, and, well, not the closest game just because Sebastian just absolutely dominated. This is what we've seen a lot from him in Wandering Warriors Cup. Maybe something people would have wanted to see a little bit more of in his crazy series against
Look at
Leary
the KD.
yesterday.
20-3.
20-3. And then the thing is, with the Bengalis, your eco is still insane. Like, it takes such crazy investment to deal with Ratha. If you find the counter to it, they're one step away, one Siege Workshop away from dealing with the Elite Skirms. I really think, like, this strat is absolutely busted, and it was a perfect game from Sebastian. There's not much Vinchester can do, at least with the Franks. This is very reminiscent of the game Vinchester played against ACCM in their semifinal. Their dock positions are a bit awkward. Vinchester's actually going to end up walking past and finding Sebastian's TC. But they're super close together. Both of these civilizations love their castle drops. And yeah, I mean, Vinchester's fish, I don't know about you, but I kind of like that if he wants to go fast castle here. That's going to be really tough for Sebastian to find.
It's going to be really tough that Sebastian is so close. Portuguese against Koreans, and there's no stone or gold that you can control in between. Vinchester has a stone and a gold to go to behind his base.
True.
So Sebastian could just get castle dropped, right? Although he does have that shoreline he can wall to, so he can kind of push the castle back a little bit. And he has plenty of land to expand into, but with the dock being so far away, he's going to have some really good scouting to shut down the fish from Vinchester.
Yeah, now where are the pigs? Where are the sheep going to be right now? So
left side.
Sebastian's left side. Okay, so he'll keep moving there. There's no way he'll deviate from that. So I think he'll eventually find that. And actually, by the time he finds that, he also will have scouted a lot of the other shoreline. I think Sebastian's not too far away from being able to realize that Vinchester's docked a very accessible bay for him. He could easily dock and contest there.
Right next to his TC, yeah.
Yeah. Vinch, on the other hand, is scouting everything but the shoreline at the moment. But if he does go to the shoreline... He might go
right to the dock. He's going right there.
Yeah, okay. So he, assuming he does that, would find that Sebastian's docked on the outside, and then maybe assume that his fish are safe if Sebastian's initial dock is up there.
Sebastian is being very, very thorough, methodical with his scouting. So he'll find that dock 100%.
Yep, really well played. Really odd generation. The only thing he's not going to find is Vinchester's TC spot.
And that's kind of critical.
Yeah, it's
because
really
he's
critical.
So close. And he doesn't see that boar that Vinchester is near. He doesn't see really any boars. There's one near his TC, but other than that, kind of stalled out a little bit on the scouting for the boars. He's so busy on the shorelines. So he won't know that Vinchester is within walking distance and can theoretically drop a castle right on his face.
Nomad is supposed to be this like chaotic map, right, where anything can happen. And that's true a lot of the time. But at this level, it's so fun how balanced it is and even what people know. Like, Vinch knows about the TC, but he doesn't know about the dock. And then Sebastian is going to know about the dock, but he's not going to know about the TC. It's just...
But Vinch is about to find the dock.
True. Yeah, he'll run into that. Should lose the sheep here in a second. And then Sebastian, he's probably surprised that he's found even more water here with his scout, but he's going to keep moving along. He's going to find that as well. So they're both going to know where the opponent is docked, and now they have to adapt based on that.
Really nice scouting for Vinch. I think the Korean villagers helped a lot at the beginning, and he saw a glimpse of a Sebastian villager for 1 second. Now, Sebastian has seen the house from Vinchester, and he has lost the sheep, so he knows that Vinchester is in the area.
I think with how much scouting you've done already, if you're Sebastian, you kind of know that house means Vinch is over there.
Yeah. You know 100% that Vinchester is over there. If you didn't see the house, then it would be a bigger question.
Yep.
There's still a lot of areas of the map Vinch could be on.
He didn't even continue over there to try and look for a boar. So he correctly guessed that that was just a villager who had built a house and then brought in a boar. So there will be no boar for him there. And look at him try and wall up already. So he's already thinking walls behind his TC, or I guess towards his TC, if anything. But what's the
Needs
play
to get
here?
one like really far forward there. You just have to force the castle back.
Vinchester giving me anxiety, bringing in a boar because he shot so many with his TC, but he's good. So both players know about the TCs. Both players know about the docks. And I think from here, the only thing I can really think of is like, will we see both players go to stone? Will we see any of them consider a castle drop? Because I think Koreans have reason for that with the war wagon, and then the Portuguese certainly do with the organ gun.
I think you have to castle drop if you're Vinch, right? I mean, you could play into galleys, maybe.
Vinch, it feels very natural.
Position. Yeah, Vinch feels very natural. Sebastian, not so much.
You know what might actually be better than wagons? Because we've seen instances where people just defend against wagons with monks. What about if you just went guard tower, siege push?
You could do that too, yeah.
Because the towers protect from monks, then the siege just takes everything out. I guess like the weakness of that play would be if Sebastian would go knights, but nobody's going knights these days on 1v1 Nomad. Sebastian really needs a boar right now, by the way. No boar underneath his TC.
He's going to find one in the north, I think, but it's a very long way away. He doesn't see it.
He does have like 4 or 5 sheep around the map scouting.
Also has 7 villagers in the queue. So he's got some food.
Yeah, I think because of this, he might go fast castle as well. Also, the walling tells me he's thinking fast castle more than anything. So if he's going to contest water, maybe he'll contest water in Castle Age. But yeah, quick walling the boar, bringing this in. Won't be able to get that fast feudal time. And Vinchester, still don't think this is fast feudal for water. He's going to stone already with the Koreans.
Damn, feels bad when you wall off the board and you still get hit.
It feels bad when you quick
walls.
wall against a unit and think you're Prime Viper, and then you still get hit. Or I should say...
Is that a common experience for you?
Not really, but I'd say that when I do it, I get so excited, and then yeah, the game just screws me over. I know Vipers complained a lot about corner hits. Sebastian? Dude, that Phil is so dead if he's not standing on the hill right now. Sebastian!
Sebastian!
Yikes!
Sebastian!
Okay. Well, pros reminding everyone that they're human as well. And after the perfect game 1, Sebastian tosses away a villager there in game number 2. Wow,
I like that outpost a lot from Sebastian. There's another one over on the side too.
Yeah, I think that's important. He did such a good job with the outposting in a lot of his other Nomad games. I think the one thing he missed against Leary was recognition of what Leary would do when he was trapped. Honestly, it was just such a sick play from Leary to go for the fast imp style, but here there's a lot more open space for Vinchester, so he's got to find out what's going on over here.
I think Vinch would be well suited with a Mr. Yo approach of Town Watch immediately here.
Yeah, I think he can justify it. Market and Blacksmith going up. He's going to sell off stone to get the gold. But he's not mining gold, so he won't be able to immediately make ships, but he doesn't need to. Because his fish are pretty safe here in this bay. Sebastian's fish will be safe as well. I still think Sebastian will eventually sneak a dock over to the right to try and kill Vinchester's fish. And Sebastian, even though he lost the Vil, pretty good res collected here, pretty good build order, but he is up to Castle Age later than Vinchester is here.
Where does the castle go? Does it go behind the woodline? Does it go right up against the shoreline?
Dude, it goes on the TC. It has to, right? It's Nomad. It's a third place match. You lost the first game. You're Koreans. The only reason he won't place this castle on the TC is maybe because he sees the outpost and he's worried he'll be spotted. But you know the TC is there. It's worth it.
There's an outpost for Vinch. And a galley as well.
Sebastian, in my opinion, needs to build a house that blocks the potential castle spot. Just so that castle does not directly range his TC. We see that change things in Nomad so frequently.
You could also build 2 wall segments, like stone wall segments.
Yeah. It's going to look ridiculous, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
All right, so dock over on the right side for Sebastian. Do you go just caravel here, like 1 caravel? You don't have to upgrade it?
I think caravels are unfortunately too weak in single use cases. Like if you get a big group of them, it's good.
I know, but if you are looking to just make a couple units without a big investment, it's much better than a fire galley or a galley, right?
Maybe. I think because of the distance and because of the focus, fires are still probably the easy play. Here comes Vinch. Vinch is also bringing a galley, and Sebastian sees the Vils. He knows exactly what this means. But Sebastian, there's galleys here. So you're going to lose the Vil fight.
1 stone wall segment.
Yeah.
1 stone. Okay, seriously. Puts it on the other side of the woodline. That's probably the most consistent place he could put it. It also shuts down that gold. It can range the walls, and then you can start firing away on that TC. I think Sebastian knew he was going to get castle dropped here.
100%. So it's very caster thing. to do what we said and just place those houses. But if 2 houses would have been placed, I don't think Vinch would have stuck around to batter down a house before placing it. Now the castle's up. This castle also controls this middle of the map where it's very hard to move around. And that TC for Sebastian's eventually going to go down. So he needs to try and kill Vinchester's fish or do some damage. Because these war wagons are going to be out. And there's also just so much chaos coming to his base right now.
Once this TC goes down, Vinchester can then start thinking about maybe towers pushing forward. If you see double monastery, if you get a tower up on those monasteries once the town center is down, I mean, the wagon's going to come through. He'll see the first monastery. He's also trying to defend against a singular fire ship from Sebastian because he did get the war galley research.
Man, Vinchester adding galleys was probably because he wanted his castle to go up, but it's going to do a terrible job at defending his fish against Portuguese fires. They've got more HP. That should mean that Sebastian will end up killing these fish. And then we have a very interesting game because Sebastian's going to lose his TC at the same time. He still has to defend from the war wagons. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but a couple fire galleys in defense here for Vinchester feel needed.
Where is that monk going? Where's the war wagon? It's just in the castle. As the villagers now come forward from Vinchester, now he sends them back. Maybe think about adding a second TC at some point. Is that monk just going to get the relic?
I think Vinch...
Already?
I think Vinch has almost faked out Sebastian here, or at least he's trying to. Because when that castle happens, you think it's going to be Bodcanero. You think it's going to be 5, 6, 7 wagons. And the opponent has to respect that and go for tons of monks. And when Vinch went in there and saw double monastery, he just said, nope, you know what? I'm just going to back away. I'm not going to actually make many wagons at all. My castle's done enough to take out his TC, and I'm happy to chill.
War galley research coming in for Vinchester. Yeah, he can't defend his fish here. He's going to lose the fish.
Yeah. Makes it very interesting because Sebastian will still have his fish safe on the outside. Vinchester's going to lose his food eco there. Vinchester then doesn't have a push, but he did take out the town center. So I think it's going to be very close. Oh, look at Vinch.
Town center, or rather, only town center here for Sebastian going up now.
Vinch trying to save his fishing ships with his castle fire right now is pretty funny. But he is losing more and more on water. He's not fishing with those fishing ships as well. And now Sebastian, what? He's got 1 relic, maybe 2 relics soon. And he's also building a TC again, finally. So
look at the resources for him. He just doesn't have a TC.
Yeah,
Can't
he
send
had...
the food.
You know Sebastian, he's going to queue 15 villas in that TC if he can. But he just didn't have the town centers. What a weird
So many
game.
monks too. Like, yeah, he's got so many monks that just feel useless.
This is where, though, I think if Vinch started to creep forward with guard towers,
yes,
it really hurts the monk defense from Sebastian.
Okay, hear me out. Sebastian puts the monks in a transport ship and goes across. If he can clear the water.
If he can clear the water, yeah.
Oh, no, Vinchester's won the water now.
Vinch has done a really nice job here. He did lose his fish. Well, some of his fishing ships, but it wasn't that crazy. I think he only lost 3. And I think it's way more difficult to play in Sebastian's position where you've lost a TC and the opponent has a castle in the middle. You could maybe look at the arrows firing from that castle right now to determine that there's not many war wagons in there, but that's kind of hard to pay attention to. So you're still respecting that could be 10 wagons showing up to your base. That's kind of funny how Vinch has done that.
Sebastian?
You just don't see a castle drop into 1 unit very frequently.
Yeah. Well, he saw the double monastery. The wagons aren't going to accomplish a whole lot. I think towers, towers could just be insane. Just 1 tower on that wood line.
Yep.
Could cause all sorts of problems for Sebastian. Then you can't hold the choke point. Then you're completely open. Then you have lots of decisions to make. As he gets a good demo up against the war galleys and the fires. Damn, dude.
Really good demo. I mean, both players are focusing on their eco and the navy right now. Another thing that Vinch could try is he could just sneak a dock to the outside, right? Because his eco is super close to where Sebastian's original dock was. So if he docked out there, he could maybe snipe the fish with some fires.
Sebastian's going to go in, I think. Well, he's got 2 TCs. So now he can use his food on something, but the gold is coming in. He's on stone.
Yep.
I think it's Imperial Age and try and push back this castle. And Vinchester, Well, he's building up his eco, but 3 TCs is expensive. If he wants to keep producing from them, it's gonna delay his Imperial Age time quite a bit.
And if Sebastian's not up soon, Vinch might be able to catch up there. Obviously, there's way more farms right now. 17 farms, berries.
There's the tower from Vinch.
Stone, gold, and yeah, there's the tower from Vinch. I think they've just been so focused on the water, right? And so focused on the eco. Sebastian's got a chance here, but he's got a chance if he makes it to Imp faster. Without Imp being faster, without the ability to trev this castle down, I think he's going to have some big problems.
I think he might be able to stop this tower too. I think he can outrange those villagers with the monks and stay out of the sight of that castle.
Yeah, just
he actually
castle
just
it.
goes for a castle of his own.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's intentionally idling here. We might see him buy some food. And how critical are the fishing ships for him? He has 9 on food, and 8 of that's fishing ships.
And there's a forward dock finally from Vinchester. Probably should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, it's just a tricky, really tricky game. And we've gotten so used to the perfect decisions being made at the perfect second over the last week. Third place matches, you know, like they weren't up late preparing probably. They're probably a little dejected after the semifinals, so maybe a little bit late, as you said.
Dude, Sebastian, you got to go up, dude. You got to go up. We're spending way too much time in Castle Age.
Did he lose his market or something? He lost his market! Bro, he lost his market to the castle!
Oh!
So he has to pay. That's so frustrating. Like, we've been there, right?
That is so yeah, that's like a 3-minute delay.
Yeah. Got to rebuild the market. It was also tough because he didn't have wood because he was trying to make a ship. And now he's got to build the market. Then he has to buy the food. And then he's going to click up. And he will be up faster. But Vinch's forward castle pays off. Took out a TC and took out a market. 2 very crucial buildings here.
Yeah, and if you were to ask him, like, why is he so delayed to Imp, Vinch wouldn't know. But
yeah, Vinch would have no clue.
Sebastian knows. Sebastian knows. It's because the market went down.
Okay, so
what's going on here behind? It's 3 ranges for Vinchester.
So Vinch, I think, is recognizing because that castle from Sebastian went up a long time ago, and you just kind of assume your opponent clicks up to Imp after a castle like that. He's feeling like he's going to lose his castle. I don't even think he's going to really invest to try and keep it up. He's focusing on the water. I think Vinch's plan is bombard cannons and skirms, maybe? Just counting on the fact that he's not going to be able to make trebs. Navy is pushing around the map for Vinchester. This is super nice control. I think Sebastian is just going to give up on water now. He's lost most of his fish. This is all about the monks and the trebs now. And here he comes. He's actually looping around the castle. And Vinch doesn't have anything for these organ guns and monks just yet.
Yeah, he's going to have to add towers. And towers will do a pretty good job pushing this away. Until those towers come up, though, this is still a fairly threatening push. Like, Redemption's going to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, and just the same thing as before, right? Convert the market, convert the houses, take the blacksmith away. Just be annoying and put Vinchester under some pressure. You never realize it until you lose it at a really critical time, but you almost feel like you need a market all the time. Look at Vinch just immediately rebuild a market.
And there comes the forward castle from Sebastian.
Ooh.
Up against that blacksmith. Very, very forward. Imperial Age is not that much of an advantage in terms of timing. But now in terms of map position, with that castle way out of position for Vinchester,
Yup.
pushing this back is going to be a problem, right? If he doesn't get a new castle up, he's going to have to wait for chemistry to come in to get bombard cannons to push that back.
Yeah, and chemistry takes a long time. The university is researching ballistics right now, not chemistry. Which obviously, ballistics is huge for the skirms. So, I like what Sebastian's doing. Obviously, he's behind an eco, but monks can simply convert the enemy units. Organ guns can flatten a lot of units, and the first treb is on the way. Vinchester's treb's going to come out, but, like, where is Vinchester's treb going to sit, bro? Is it going to sit? I guess it has
right
to
next
sit.
to the castle. Yeah, it has to sit right next to the castle. There's nothing there for Sebastian to kill that immediately.
Yeah, Sebastian will make his second treb. So, Vinch can't repair. Sebastian can. Vinch is only 2 on stone. He also only has 1 stone area here where the 2 villagers are. So, he's completely out of stone otherwise.
Skirm's trying to snipe the monks. Organ gun's not doing a ton of damage to those because the Koreans get the final armor upgrade for free.
Yeah, Vinchester also has the castle fire to work with. But again, Sebastian has repairs.
Oh, please don't tell me the Chemistry University goes down from Winchester to these two random fires.
No
That could
way,
be
dude. No way.
Massive, dude.
Did he notice?
Oh my god.
You never think about that.
No, he's not gonna. Is he
Oh,
repairing
man.
it? No, he's going for a lumber cap. I don't know if that comes in on time.
I don't think it does.
It's gonna be
Chemistry
close.
is
It's
so
gonna be
slow.
close. 97% maybe.
Oh man, it's actually much closer than I thought. I think it might.
It might complete.
It might complete. It will complete.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
So fortunate.
Yeah, he just had no clue that was happening. Winchester's castle's down. He's super housed and under pressure. He's clicking the bombard cannons right away. That would have delayed him 3 minutes on that. Now, Sebastian has an issue of protecting the monks. That's a lot of skirms from Vinch. And Vinch, with the superior eco, is going to be happy to sacrifice some skirms to kill the monks.
I just don't know once the organ gun count is up, like, what did the skirms do?
I think the skirms are just monk snipers. And then you hope the bombard cannons save the day for you here.
But you've got monks with redemption already.
Yeah.
Like block printing as a possibility as well. Block printing's already in. Okay.
Vinch is going to move in now, but the organ guns are there. Monks can also get conversions. This is a ton of pressure from Winchester right now. Obviously, if Sebastian loses this push, though, he's completely dead. He's heavily outboomed. He's heavily out-teched.
Skirms are dying. Skirms are dying against the organ guns. Trebs are still working away on Trebs.
There's still more monks coming forward from Sebastian. He'll know that a lot of that score right now is just the water control, which might not matter if he wins this push.
Oh, those skirms are just dying so quickly, but he's got so many of them versus the organ guns. Sebastian's still trying to produce 0 on food for Sebastian right now.
Yeah, he needs to convert those cannons right now, Dave. He loses a Treb, which makes it even more important. He gets a cannon.
He got one.
He could actually use that cannon to take the Trebs as well if he could walk
attack
far
around
enough.
the middle of the Trebs.
Oh!
He got one.
He's going to get
He's gonna
both.
get the second. Big.
So, expensive losses for Vinch. Bombard cannon's still there, but Sebastian has an organ gun issue. Like, he doesn't have the numbers. He has a monk issue as well. He's got so little here. And there's still more skirms on the way from Vinch out of 5 ranges, and there's still more cannons. Treb gets
Good
sniped.
job from Vinch just to... Oh my god, that bombard cannon. Right as he thought he was safe. He gets hit by that Treb and he goes down. But yeah, Winchester just kind of overwhelming him with a superior economy.
Yep.
At the moment.
And nice job from Vinch to recognize that it's okay to lose a ball of skirms here. Sometimes people are too hesitant and then they give too much respect to the push. But he tossed away 30 skirms and
2 Fetorias.
still happy with the position. Yeah, Sebastian. Now he's going to get food eco from Fetorias. But if this push from Winchester continues, this is going to be tough. He just doesn't have a lot to protect that forward castle right now.
He needs another massive ball of organ guns for sure. Now trying to convert the villagers from Winchester. That could be annoying, I suppose. But the skirms are still here to snipe the monks and the bomber cannon's working away. Imagine if chemistry got denied.
Yeah, if chemistry got denied,
completely different game.
It would have been completely different. Yep. Sebastian
are coming in.
This is so smart from Vinch. He knows that there's no defense at home, and so he's just going to go on a little skirm raid, which I wouldn't normally suggest to people. It's not high up on the list, but in this scenario, there's nothing Sebastian can really do against the skirms. Feitoria denied, and now Vinch's bombard cannons are still able to push the castle, kill the organ guns.
Sebastian's wasting his monks trying to convert ships.
Yeah.
Cannon galleons are coming forward. So maybe he was trying to push those away. And
There's
he
just
calls
too
the
much.
GG there. Yeah, it just was a much better start for Winchester. The eco for Sebastian was tragic the entire way through. And then the missed imp timing. The university didn't go down before chemistry came in. Just a series of unfortunate events for him for sure.
But I still can't get over that opening for Vinch. He went forward castle drop, 1 wagon. Like, Sebastian goes double monastery, expecting all the army. And he's probably thinking, okay, I've killed some of his fish. He's all in. I hold against the all in. I'm the guy with the fish boom. He's not going to have the fish. And Vinch is like, actually, nope. I'm not going to send wagons in towards your monks. That would be a waste. I'm going to win the water, and I'm just going to boom. And so Sebastian probably did the right thing to try and apply the pressure here. But like you said, Vince just had the superior eco, and also for what it's worth, his skirms are also much cheaper with the Koreans as well. So, but yeah, if chemistry gets denied there, and Vinchester can't make bombard cannons, that's a completely different game because he can't even make trebs. Here we are, Boundary Brawl. Huns, one of the best civs for Boundary Brawl for Sebastian. And Vinchester's got the Lithuanians. But yeah, the draft was interesting. We had first pick Huns from Sebastian and first pick Chinese for Vinch. So on paper, I think we might get 5 games in this third place match if the games play out well enough.
Also, Sicilians was banned by Sebastian. So maybe he took a look at that strat attempt from Vinchester and he didn't like it.
Yeah, he probably said there's no way I would have won that game. Only ACCM could have won against that. They probably didn't want to deal with that. So Lithuanians are pretty good here. The extra food's super helpful for a hybrid start. I think the faster spears, skirms, good knights, all suits them very well. But the Huns get the horse. That's the story. And there's water buffaloes all over, which that horse will be able to scout. And not only that, the horse can also scout the outside of the map to see exactly where Vinchester is and what Vinchester's doing here. But yeah, so it went to the hidden global pick. Huns and Chinese were free. And I was thinking that they would both maybe go Chinese. And then it would benefit Sebastian hugely because he would get the next pick. And he would get Huns. Right? Or even if they both like first picked Huns for this map, let's say. Still, Sebastian would have been able to snag Chinese. So it actually was huge for Vinch that their first picks were different civs. It's weird.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right, so I mean, Sebastian's going to get an insane amount of vision here. How long since we've seen... Well, I guess Doubt lost with the Huns, but he didn't go for feudal pressure. He went fast castle. Kind of ignored the water, right? But other than that, like, Huns have been really, really strong here.
I think the only positive for the Lithuanian player here is that we've only seen the Huns dominate doing one thing. So it's not like you have to necessarily... I mean, we've only seen people dominate on this map for the most part doing one thing, which is galley. So I don't think there's many things you're worried about here. But yeah, Doubt, I was casting with MBL for that, Doubt Leary, and MBL was just like losing his mind. He was like saying about how the Huns' advantage was completely wasted. So I think it's got to be galleys here for Sebastian.
It's a classic Doubt moment.
I know,
the better
dude.
Civ, gets in and then just decides that Cav Archers are cool.
I mean, it's such a shame because he played so well. It felt like he had Leary exactly where he wanted him with like the Byzantines game. Like, yeah, and I had brought up when Doubt was up 2-1, I said to MBL, I'm like, you know the Dave quote about Doubt, right? Like that Doubt's the best player in the world for 2 games out of every series. MBL's like, no. He's like, I know Dave said that, but things are looking good here for Doubt. And then, well, ended up only getting 2 wins.
The way that MBL works, dude, is he always makes fun of me for something. And then he forgets that he made fun of me for it. And like 6 months later, he'll think of the same thing. And then he'll be super enthusic about it as if like he came up with the idea.
That sounds
it's
like
happened
MBL.
so many times. Yeah.
My favorite thing about MBL is that he doesn't think something is good until he dies to it. So if you were to ask him before, and there's other players like this too, but we're close enough with MBL, you know, he could take it. You bring up an idea, and they're like, oh, that's completely trash. Why would you ever do that? And then suddenly it happens against them, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's really strong. You know? It's so funny.
3 fishing ships for Vinchester. And you can see how long distance he's taken that wood. Like, he really stretched the wood to the limit. Plus, he needs a house soon. So you better get that lumber camp up now. This is what I'm talking about with doing the math
where the
with the amount of trees. The vills are being blocked by the horse right now. Going out for the lumber camp.
This is bad. He can't click up. Actually, Sebastian delaying this. He doesn't want to build the house yet. He wants this lumber camp up so he can go up.
He can still get loom.
Yeah, he's still fine, I think. Dude, he really
can go up, but yeah, he stretched that.
He really stretched this. Let's see if he can click up. That's a good build from Vinch, though. Considering all the bonuses that Huns have here and all the water buffalo they're going to have, I mean, look at the scouting from Sebastian on the outside. It's just ridiculous.
And Sebastian knew that Vinch was going to have wood problems because he saw 3 fishing ships. And you can see how many trees are on the center, right? So you can do the easy math.
Yeah, true.
To figure that out. So that's why he's blocking the villager coming out. He's been trying to block the fishing ships as well. He's trying to do whatever he can with the horse. The score is still outrageous if you go to Sebastian's line of sight. Just so many water buffalo. They're stopped now because he's been busy.
It's just,
but the scouting is insane.
Yeah, and what you don't run into now is a situation where you can't find a gold, which poor Winchester is running into, but he's going to find it now. And that's just because he had to eat what few buffalo he had, if he even had any. I like the uptime from Vinch, but this is a build that is at the absolute limit. He just built his house. He'll need his second dock, and he'll want the galley timing to be correct. This feels like life's a little bit easier for Sebastian. He doesn't need the houses. Another lumber camp on this. This happens every game where players are just... Their builds are so fast, they can't justify another lumber camp. But look at this lumber camp for Sebastian. They're just getting so stuck right now.
Dude, when I played in the Community Cup version of this in the first Wandering Warriors community tournament, like 3 years ago, I built a lumber camp like this. And I built it with 2 villas, and I was counting on dropping off diagonally through the trees. The villas wouldn't drop off. They wouldn't drop off. It was
Actually, I remember that. I remember that.
I was so mad. Dude. I think I sent you like screenshots of it.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating, bro. And now Sebastian, I feel your pain, brother. I feel it. It's so frustrating.
It's so funny too because you know what he thought. He's like, okay, it might be inefficient at the start, but once I chop 1 tree, it's amazing. So it is looking better now. But Vinchester's making his galleys. Sebastian's making his galleys. Yesterday, I think it was Leary versus Sebastian. Wasn't even close on this. Sebastian got completely overwhelmed with the galleys. Here, though, it feels like the timing's very similar.
Maybe the horse will tank a shot. Who knows? I would just plop that horse on auto scout. I don't even know what that horse is doing in the middle here.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sebastian, so he probably is going to use that as a distraction of some kind. But I would set some waypoints to where my opponent's resources are.
Gonna go try and block the ships with the horse? No, the horse is probably on auto scout now. I don't know.
No, I think he's distracting. That's not on auto scout, dude. He is hoping that Winchester patrols because the galleys will prioritize the horse if the horse is on front. That's 4th seed Sebastian. So none of our top 4, none of our top 5. Hold on, I got to go down the list. I think none of our top 6 seeds in this tournament make it to the final. Because I think
Leary's number 9.
Leary's 9. I think ACCM was 7 in this tournament.
Yeah.
So,
and Vinch is 6.
Vinch is. I think Vinch might have been I think Doubt was 6 or something.
No, Doubt was 8.
I don't think Vinch was 6.
I think Vinch might have been 6.
Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of people are showing up right now. It's finals day. They're like, what's going on? Oh, you got a lot of catching up to do, my friends. You got a lot of catching up to do. You get
finals watchers.
How dare you show up? But no, seriously, I mean, the beauty of it is, too, is it's not like the sets weren't absolutely insane and big names went down. The sets have been insane this tournament. So I was trying to think of the best possible games. I couldn't even really do it. The one thing that I could agree on, as we have villagers taking the same zebra here in the middle, is that I think ACCM might be in 4 out of the 5 best games from this tournament.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And the thing I love about this one is even when there was like a wash in the sets, usually you'd have at least one banger game.
Yep.
In all of them, which is amazing, right, as a caster. So it's been a lot of fun. We're not done yet. Obviously, we got this 3rd place match, and then we get the finals, and there hasn't been a single kill yet in this game. Please just toss that horse on auto scout. There's no use for this here.
As naturally as Dave says, there hasn't been a kill. All the kills begin. It goes up to 2-2 KD. Fletching is in for Vinch. It's not in for Sebastian, but still the numbers are very even. And this is one of those games where it's actually even on water. And I think even now, if one player were to overtake the water soon, there's enough economies out there where they'll both make it to Castle Age, and someone could maybe retake water with fire galleys or sneak. What you don't love to see on this map is one player completely wins water early, and then they know their opponent's going to sneak land, and they just wall up. Kind of what Leary did against Sebastian. This is going late.
I think the good thing here for Sebastian is that he managed to sneak out that, or sorry, Vinchester managed to sneak out that third fishing ship, right? Sebastian has all the water buffalo, which is great for him. But Vinchester still has the berries he didn't take earlier. So it's not like he doesn't have food available. And he's been getting a little bit of extra food from that third fish.
What is that one buffalo doing underneath Sebastian's TC?
It's tweaking, dude.
He's like, not me, not me, not me. Don't kill me next. Honestly, I was a little bit surprised that Vinchester didn't go in there to try and snipe the buffalo. Oh. Go get the buffalo, Vinch. Take him. He's trying. And Sebastian has to move the buffalo away. That's smart thinking. Look at these resources here. 11 galleys for Sebastian. He does have more, but he still hasn't killed the fish.
And he's separated from his main navy now.
Yep.
Vinchester needs to read the fact that Sebastian is not at his docks. He's looping around. He's still got villagers coming over. Like, there's exposed eco here. He's got the villagers on the berries, maybe. He's got the he's got the fishing ships. He's got to get over there.
Nice shot from Sebastian to loop pretty far away from the middle there, because there is quite a bit of vision on the shoreline. And Vinchester sees it. Vinchester does lose a vill underneath the TC. First vill down this game.
That was the weak vill, too. So good spot from Sebastian.
But Vinch can click up here. I think he's just missing his market. There's the market now on the outside. And he will just chase this down. But now Sebastian has the other galleys. Popped out of the dock. Vinch wasn't expecting that. And the galley numbers for Sebastian are really going to start to pay off here.
And even if you're faster to Castle Age, I mean, if Sebastian wins water with this many galleys right now, he can take out those docks before you get there. And then you have to run with all of your villagers now while you still have galleys alive. It's a risk for Vinchester. He's going to make the run. He's making the run. There's two different armies of galleys here on either side from Sebastian. He's got to protect the vills. Now they've come too far. They can't go back. They have to go. And Sebastian's just going to
Vinchester, what are we doing, man? Bro, I mean, funnily enough, he will kill a lot of galleys. But at what cost? I mean, maybe he thought it would be bad if he stayed, but that was...
He made the run.
That was not it. Did a single villager from that group survive there?
I don't think so. That's insane from Sebastian. Just collapse from both sides. I think a lot of players would have let those villagers slip, trying to micro against the galleys. And Vinchester will win the water, but the cost is not...
Well, I mean, like, maybe if you just send 5 and you leave the rest... The same thing happens, and you still win water because he has to attack your vills. I don't know. It would be wild now, though, if Vinch can get the second TC up faster, and Vinch wins water, because Sebastian now has to pre-abandon the middle. I don't know if pre-abandon is the right word there, but you know what I mean. He's got to get out of here fast.
Well, he's gone.
Yep.
So I think Sebastian, you can make an argument for like switching into fires now, which he's doing, going for that war galley upgrade and adding more TCs on the outside and just booming up because you killed so much.
Yeah.
You know what you've killed. You've seen it.
No barracks for either player. So it will probably just be TCs and water. Vinchester making some fires as well and getting Bodcanero, but he will not be able to afford war galley. So that's a pretty big deal for those fires. Still having 11 galleys, though, with Bodcanero can still help dominate the water. Res collected is close. You would expect that it's not going to be too close after the worker difference, but with Lithuanians, you get the extra food when you build the TC. Vinchester could maybe still be in a decent spot there.
Woodline, please, Sebastian. Woodline pulls away.
And again, there's that TC in the middle for Sebastian. He's going to be producing vills. Look at him run again with 3 villagers on the right. Smart from him to realize.
And another TC goes up from Vinchester. So we'll get an extra 100 food. That's nice. He can keep producing. He's just trying to catch up at the moment.
Yeah. 13-2 eco
Look
KD.
at the resources for Sebastian. Yeah, add a stable and go for like one night or something like that. Get it into the eco. Actually, no, there's a monastery now. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think maybe Cav Archer's his plan. He'll drop
maybe
the barracks now, so he'll probably follow that up with a range. Sebastian will start to lose his docks. I like the TC position for Sebastian in the south because there's deer around and obviously all the wood villagers. The TC on the right's not too bad either. I also think there's some value in splitting up your eco. But I'm wondering if Sebastian will end up losing 5 to 6 vills in the middle at some point because the middle TC is such a liability now.
Well, he's used it for town watch and wheelbarrow.
Nice.
So he's not really interested in production. Kind of like a houseboat TC in the center of the pond, right?
Yep. Really helpful for Vinch that he can take the berries in the middle right now because of the losses that he took, and he'll add TC number 3. This has turned into a very close game. Yes, more resources collected for Sebastian, but I think a harder game for Sebastian to play right now because of all the things that could go wrong with the water control.
I think he should even buy like an extra 100 stone and go for a 4th TC and just not produce from that one in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We have a siege workshop on the left for Sebastian and then 2 ranges. So he's going to go for a Cav Archer Mangonel push, which is a little unlike Sebastian, but I like the recognition that the only thing Vinchester is going to be doing right now is booming.
Winchester already grabbing the relics. Some sets, people have delayed. I'm looking at you, Nikoff and
Hera.
People have delayed until like an hour and 20 minutes in to grab the relics, but Viper went out and grabbed them really, really quickly. Vinchester's going out to grab them really, really quickly. Once you have water control, you have access to all 5 of those.
And these Lithuanians, dude. Like, having the water control with Lithuanians is so much more important now. And there's no Cav Archers headed over to the water either, so he might be able to get all 5 with 1 monk. Sebastian did stop producing with his TC in the middle, which again is really smart. Easier said than done. We see so many games where people are still producing. And here comes the push. So 1 Mangonel is on the way. Vinch will have some time to adapt to this, react to this, but it'll start to get tricky for Vinchester again.
TC down in the center.
Yep.
So it's 3 TC against 2.
What a funny game. Just the fact that Vinch should toss away 13 vills like that, but because everything else he has done is so good, or even just because he lost the vills, he ended up retaking water. Such a funny game.
And he's got the vill lead again.
Somehow.
So is it worth it? The old question, would you rather be minus 15 villagers or have water control?
And take all the relics. Sebastian did this in a houseboat game against freaking Andy, where when he goes for a siege push, he doesn't show the first Mangonel. He waits.
He waits. Still, with the relics that Vinchester's going to have, the gold income that he has as well, it feels like he might be able to hold this if the walls are still up with monks. But he only has 1 monk on the field. It's going to be really tough for Vinchester. Jeez.
This can get out of hand fast, which is, I think, why you wait.
Also, look at the outpost for Sebastian on the right side, too. He sees everything. He's going to
good
see that
from
TC
Sebastian.
over there. That's insane.
Yeah, he's got a really nice eco here. I think to your point earlier, would love to see another town center after losing that. But let's see the 3 Mangonels. Wow, what a great reaction, from Vinchester.
Wow. Immediately.
Yeah. He will have other resources in different areas to take if he needs, and he's going to react with a siege workshop of his own. He'll have 3 relics. He doesn't have a barracks yet, but a barracks and then maybe a stable for a couple nights to try and snipe the Mangonels could be good. But Vinch with the Vill lead, Vinch with the water control, but now he's losing land. And like, water's obviously helpful in the early game, but it's all about the land now. So I'm loving this position for Sebastian at the moment.
Yeah, until 1 Mangonel comes out, and then you have to be extremely worried. He does have the outposts there. That'll give him advance warning that the Mangonel is coming in. He also has a lot of outposts over on the right, so he can see those villagers looking for places to expand. 78 villagers for Vinchester, 68 villagers for Sebastian. Still ahead on res collected, and has all those Cav Archers too.
So, funnily enough, you need to attack ground those Mangonels. You can't right-click because the hit will prioritize one of them. And it won't necessarily guarantee 2 hits in my experience. So if they're stacked like that, the attack ground does equal damage to both. But the direct shot might not kill both. Also seen it the other way.
Market is down. That's kind of brutal for Vinch.
Look at Vinch's resources. Look at his top space. There's a lot of craziness happening right now. And Sebastian's Mangonel Micro was so sick there. Nice job. Vinchester holding, though. Still has galleys around. Still has great resources. Just wonder if Knights is a possible play for him at the moment.
Just a couple Knights, yep. Vinchester, I mean, he looks like he wants to go up to Imp here.
It does seem like that. If he had a castle, you could go for hill forts, and he could defend this TC against the Mangonels. But no castle, no stone income for him. This is all going to be down to the siege. Meanwhile, Sebastian is flying with map control, dropping TCs. Micro's insane. The Cav Archers are going to dive for Sebastian to help against the siege. The split micro happens for Sebastian. He's getting into the TC fire, though. And Vinchester with some great defense here so far.
Vinchester's running really low on wood. Like, just to even add in an extra Mangonel is a risk that you don't have enough wood, even with 36 on wood to repair that TC. And you got to keep the TC up.
Oh my God,
He's trying to go
dude.
for the shots here. He takes out a Mangonel from Sebastian. Sebastian's trying to kill the Mangonel under the TC. Vinchester gets attack rounds in, but Sebastian micros that down. That's a crazy hold attempt here from Vinchester.
Oh, and Sebastian with an attack round almost took out the Mangonel from Vinch. Now he'll dive with the CA, and he will take it. Wow.
Nice, beautiful. With the last shot as well, as Vinchester finally just goes for a castle. He got a new market up. He buys 700 stone for that castle.
That's ridiculous. But I think with how this engagement is going, he is always going to be outnumbered by Mangonels. The fact that it's just Mangonels versus... It's just Mangonels against Mangonels and this many Cav Archers is a problem. So I like it. It makes it less likely that Sebastian's going to even commit as much. And nice defense from Vinch. Vinch could make Latus now, which will have +4 attack because of the relics he has.
Castle on the right side for Sebastian. Vinchester's going to see that with his outpost. Final relic incoming.
Sebastian's food eco. I guess Vinchester's
It's
food
just not
eco
good.
isn't as good either, but...
Yeah,
He
Sebastian
needs to-
should have maybe expanded a little bit more, to be fair.
I think
Does have
he...
handcart, though.
I think he will. Like you just, even a player like Sebastian is just not going to have 50 farms behind that type of push. But the second he backs up, the food eco is going to fly. We'll see him hit imp soon, I think.
The thing I love about watching Sebastian's gameplay is like he's so much better with getting eco upgrades and specifically wheelbarrow and handcart than any other player out there.
I can agree
This
with that.
time of the game, he usually has handcart.
I also
Guaranteed.
guarantee he'll get 2-man saw and imp, which you don't see from other pros either. He really maximizes the wood upgrades. I remember, and I don't know what changed, right? But I remember back when I started casting in 2014, 2015, that everyone would get 2-man saw. But these days, you just don't see it a lot. I think because people are spending their resources so much faster now on other things.
Yeah.
But a random villager from Vinchester in the south will be spotted. Maybe he wanted to sneak. I'm just amazed that Vinchester's still... He's also fixing his eco, but he hasn't clicked up yet. He also has no villagers mining stone, so he just has one castle. Would like to see more.
he bought 700 stone
Yeah.
to get that castle. So that's what nuked his eco when we thought he was maybe going up to imp. The 5 relics are definitely helping him.
That's
already
huge.
1,000 gold collected. It's massive.
And now he is going to mine some stone.
I like this a lot from Sebastian. He's going to get back on water. You get back on water, you take it over, and then maybe you can get some Dromans over here dealing with all this stuff.
Yeah, I like
be
the
good.
idea as well. Res collected is, even though Sebastian is behind in Vills and behind in relics, it's ahead for him. Really just goes back to the efficiency aspect. He was applying so much pressure. Vinchester wasn't
and
able
he
to
had
have
a
an
Vill
efficient
lead
eco.
forever.
And the
So
upgrades,
it
too. Handcart, like you said. Sebastian will come back to the TC. Vinch was just trying to get rid of the outpost, but now there's some pressure here again.
And Vinchester doesn't know about the redock attempts because
True.
Sebastian killed that outpost before he started building the docks.
That's really smart. To build the dock right where you took out the outpost is really smart. What a map
Latest
this
are coming
has been,
over,
dude.
though. Vinchester might find those. He's going to take care of the villager from Sebastian forward. He's been killing outposts as well. But Sebastian still has an insane amount of vision.
Cav Archers are dangerous against even Lactus with all this attack. It's just you get to that critical mass, and they'll kill the Latus before the Latus dive deep. What Vinchester needs is to split up those Latus into groups of 5 to 10 and just raid in different areas, because the Cav Archers are always going to stay together.
Heavy demo right away.
No way, dude.
Huns don't get fast fire, so it's heavy demo right away. Maybe he's thinking big groups of Latus. Maybe he's thinking there's going to be big groups of fire ships or something like that from Vinchester.
He has a lot of vision.
Crazy.
He has a ton of vision, so he might be able to catch some groups of Latus. But I think once Vinch sees the docks, once Vinch knows about the first demo, he should be aware. Vinch a little late on upgrades, but I think he's just going to build up that Latus death ball. Dude, if he runs through the middle into demos, this is going to be crazy. This is kind of tough for Vinch to know where to go right now. Anywhere he goes, he sees outposts and vision from Sebastian.
He saw the fires only. Hasn't seen the demos yet.
Oh,
He doesn't know what's in the docks.
If he's
Now
paying
sees one
attention,
demo.
now he can see the demo. Elite Latus is
Elite
in.
Latus coming in.
He noticed. He noticed that. So he will know to be careful with the Latus on water now. I also think the ships from Vinchester have been very helpful against Sebastian's Cav Archers, because we haven't seen the CA do too much for Sebastian yet. No horse collar for Vinch is a big one, actually, with 60 on food. It's a
that's
really big
huge.
upgrade to be missing right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Looking at a lot of these farms, 50 food left, 60 food left, 70 food
Yep.
left.
And he's got auto reseed on, I'm sure. The demos connect for Sebastian. So the demos do help. He's also getting galleons, so he's just going full range units on water and on land. And he's starting to reclaim the middle. There's some eco out there for Vinch. There's horse collar. So that's good that he's getting that. He only has 15 Latus, but where can he go with the Latus right now? Sebastian's making that very difficult. Sebastian is the Navy. Sebastian's got the castles up everywhere around the map. And Latus are kind of running into the middle now to help recover here. And Sebastian's just going to lead them right to the demos every time.
They do really well against the fires. Just watch that engagement. They take very little damage, and they're putting out a ton with 16 plus 4 attack. That's wild. Foraging just now coming in, too. So 16 plus 5 coming in.
Yeah, the key for Sebastian now, in my opinion, is he needs, like, it seems like a lot, but like 3 or 4 more castles. So he can't be
Defensively,
raided.
in his eco.
Yeah, and if he can get those castles down, I think it's going to be really tricky for Vinchester. Vinchester needs to raid before the castles come up. Heavy Cav Archer now, yeah. And the Latus do get into the eco finally. It's taken some time. A lot of galleons from Sebastian. Will he make Dramens here? It feels like he's got the population on water to consider that now. Vinch is
I think just a couple. He can also see that there's no relics on here and that the monastery is right there from Vinch.
True.
So taking that out might be good. I think he's going to probably focus on the castles and the docks first, though, as Vinch goes for another castle. He did get horse collar. Still no heavy plow.
This is just such a perfect game from Sebastian. He knows. He's like, okay, he's going to try and raid me. So I just need castles everywhere. And look where Vinchester knows there's a vulnerability. By the time he gets there, there's another castle. Protecting the stone as well, which will be so nice.
Murder holes could be huge
Yeah.
for Sebastian, unironically.
Yep, he's going to get masonry as well, because otherwise these castles could go down pretty quick to the latest. Couple raids came in on the left from Vinch, but the Cav Archers are there to help secure that TC. And Latus next to the castle move along for Vinch to find more areas of the eco. So he's just looking for open areas where there's not a castle for Sebastian.
Vinch is still stuck. He's still stuck in the corner, and Sebastian's trying to hold him in. Now going for stone walls on the sides. Try and push him into those castles. More Latus still coming in, and they are killing the castle now on the
Dude,
right.
we need
so I think
murder holes.
Murder holes is great if he notices this. That castle might just go down. There's more Latus coming from the other side. He needs to wall in these vills.
Well, where are the Cav Archers, right? The Cav Archers
Here's murder holes.
are not
Let's
here.
go.
And he is going to wall in the vills. He is getting murder holes. He's out of stone right now, though.
He buys stone to repair.
Nice shot from Vinch. I mean, he knows that it's going to be really hard to castle everywhere on the map. And he's just full belief in these elite Latus right now. He isn't even fully upgraded yet. He's about to have the +6 attack. And Murder Holes is in. So the castle is going to be able to hit all the latest here. But the castle's still going down pretty fast here.
Yeah, Atlantis are just ridiculous with their attack. And I think even with Murder Holes, this castle's going to die.
Look at Vinch now pop out with fast fires as his opponent's distracted. Vinchester's turning this game around. There's no Repairvilles anymore for the castle. That castle's going to be gone. And when it looked like Sebastian was going to lock down the whole map, Vinchester just decided to get his latest numbers up and just forget about Siege. Simply use the latest.
Droman's in the queue. Forward castle there from Vinchester. The problem with Droman's here is I feel like the latest, if you don't have enough demos to defend them, and he is going for more demos as Vinchester loses a lot of vills on the mid, the latest can just come in and kill all those Dromans if you don't have demo support.
It's a really interesting game right now. The castle will be denied for Sebastian on the left, so that is going to be castle number 4 to produce latest from Vinch. There is not a lot to stop Vinchester from trying to take out the next castles with latest. And look at Sebastian now try and drop another castle knowing the latest are going to be on the way. That one could be denied. Just like the castle on the left was denied. I also don't think he deleted that foundation, Dave, on the left. I think he lost that. Or maybe he had just deleted it so he could build this other castle he's building now.
Good quick walls. Good quick walls. Let's see if he gets these down. Stone walls around the villagers building that castle. But still, he's losing a ton of vills. He's just lost like 40 vills.
It's insane. And I think the key for Vinch is actually the right-hand side now. That is very open for him. If he could continue to creep in that way, that would maybe be the key. Because of the land attack, Sebastian is unable to focus on water as well. So fast fires are all around for Vinchester right now. But he hasn't
Sebastian just
dealt
spent
with the Dromans.
1,200 gold. He just spent 1,200 gold buying 500 stone.
Just for another castle. It's so
just
sad.
To keep himself safe.
He needs castles next to castles at this point.
So many Dromans here.
Yeah, Vinch needs to put a stop to that because his relics and his castles are all going to be taken away if he doesn't put a stop to that. I don't know if he can. Let's see. There's no demos in front now for Sebastian. There's fires looping from the south.
Tristan, the raid in the south is huge. He can kill so many villagers.
He's got latest everywhere. He's got the fires now. Vinch will probably lose his castle. But as Sebastian's down below 100 eco, here come the fast fires now from Vinch. And he's got a nice little surround on the galleons. And Sebastian just taps out. He's at 130 pop. He's lost too much. He knows he'll lose his galleons. And Vinchester wins the game. He lost 13 vills. He was at 27 vills right before when he hit Castle Age versus like 42. And he just reboomed. He got those relics. And he knew what to do with the latest. That was impressive.
These are a very strong unit, Elite Latest. Especially with 4 relics in the monastery. Like, they're just insane. They can fight the navy. They can fight the castles. They can fight the units. There is an immediate counter for them from Sebastian. And he couldn't lock it down.
Yeah.
He couldn't lock it down. Vinchester had an insane economy.
I was a little worried for Vinch. It didn't feel like he was making a lot of progress. But once he took out that one castle on the right, that's when you started to believe. And he clearly felt like he gained some momentum from that. Obviously, the latest are the big story because they killed the Vills. But if it wasn't for the latest rating, then Sebastian would have been able to micro and dominate water so much easier. Because Galleon heavy demo is superior.
Yeah.
You just
remember the villagers early. The 13 villagers that died.
He won water.
10 or whatever it was. Exactly. And he won the game because of that.
There's going to be a memorial in the back of Vinchester's economy where you can go pay respect to those 13 villagers because they would not.
No, I don't think he cares about them, dude. I saw what happened to those. I don't think he cares about those villas.
Yeah, but like right now they don't care about them. But in like 100 years, historians are going to write about them. And they're going to realize that they didn't give those villagers the respect that they deserved at the time. And then there will be a memorial. That's my hope. So Vinch was actually behind in gold despite getting 3k gold from the relics. He was also behind in stone. He had like 5 castles and only mined 1,800 stone. So he bought multiple castles. Yeah, and he just won the game. Crazy stuff. And here we are. Vinchester, he's playing as the Chinese. And you do start with a fishing ship with all civilizations here. Vinch is going to walk out, build his TC on the wood and the
Sebastian's
gold.
looking for that gold. He's looking for that gold. And he finds the TC on the wood and the gold. It's the secondary gold. It's not the main one. Actually, no. Yeah, it's the secondary one. Yeah.
Yeah, he just missed seeing the other wood line. So he could have had a similar TC there. Actually, what's nice about this position for Sebastian is that he has rhinos and elephants really close by to him. Normally, the second one's a little bit further away.
And it's not right up against that hill with your wood line either.
Yeah, true.
Which is nice.
Yeah, Dravidian should be really solid here. He already gets the pop space from the dock. Then when the TC is up, he could produce vills right away without needing a house.
Winchester should be building that TC with all three. I think with Chinese, the priority is getting the extra 3 vills as quickly as possible.
I agree. I think most players have been doing that. But you do also get a bit more food income if you do it Winchester's way. So maybe it evens out in the end. But you had said, do you think Dravidian's maybe the best civ on this map?
I think they're the smoothest civ on this map. So they get the dock up right away with the population space. You can start producing villagers immediately, although Sebastian is building another house for whatever reason. I don't understand why. Maybe Dravidians have been banned out too many times.
Yeah.
He's not used to them. But the big thing for me is that you can play water and land immediately in Feudal Age with that extra 200 wood.
True.
Like you can just immediately go into an archer range. You can make fire galleys or whatever. And you can contest on both, which makes life very difficult for your opponent. And then in the late game, you get bombard cannons, which is huge. We've seen the lack of castles be a massive issue here. Bombard cannons is just an amazing resource in Imperial Age to help you push.
And also Dravidian Siege is cheaper. I don't know if you mentioned that part. So for mangonels and even like pikeman mangonel, which we see a decent amount, it's all cheaper. Yeah. So did you think you're under some pressure here? The perfect Chinese start will lead to them having more resources collected. There's really nothing you can do about that. Remember, Chinese was the #1 pick for Vinch, and Sebastian picked Hun's #1. He just lost with them. So draft-wise, the odds are good for Winchester right now. But yeah, what you can't do is you can't make life easy for the Chinese in Feudal Age, in my opinion. So I would say lean into a bit more land aggression, try and control the hill, and then adapt from there.
I get so nervous with Winchester and his rhinos.
I don't trust
and
it, dude.
Elephants and
I don't
boars,
trust it. And the thing
He's
is,
made the same mistake too many times.
And if they fix that in the next patch or something, we're still going to have about a year's worth of caster PTSD watching Winchester bring in his boars. At least that's how it will be for me. I won't be able to forget. So he did it here. He did it in the semi. I think he did it in the quarter. And then I didn't watch all of his games, but we did what we could to warn people about it. In the early rounds,
you're gonna have all those people that are convinced that shooting with the TC is never worth it.
Yeah.
Because of the 1 in 100 times that you kill the boar. And they're gonna rise up, dude. They always come out of, I don't know what cellars they come out of, or sewers or whatever. Like, it's never worth it to shoot the boar with the TC. Just use villagers.
I mean, it's funny because I said those exact words. I would say it wasn't worth the risk. Like,
yeah,
4
when there
years
was
ago.
laggy, there was a bazillion ping on every single game. But
it's just
on
wild
average,
how
it's just way better.
How normal that is now. Yeah, it's better for so many reasons. And these guys shouldn't be making those mistakes.
I remember when you used to have to get we would get loom on Europe map back in the day before pulling in a boar that was 10 tiles away. Because with fast speed and with the players we were playing on, it just you had to hit the board twice with the vill. So you'd wait till your villager shot once, you'd pull it back, and it might shoot 2 or 3 more times before the ping let your villager come back, and it still might die. Sometimes they died.
Well, I mean, you guys are also scenario players, so you need a little bit of extra help, right?
Sometimes they died, dude. You know the ping situation we had.
It was bad. I don't know what it is.
Bro.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I experienced more lag in scenario lobbies than I've ever experienced in RM lobbies.
You feel it.
Fast speed.
Plus, a lot of the people playing scenarios were a little weird.
Playing on toasters, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of toasters. Yeah, some Tamagotchis. Like there's some stuff going on.
You know what's coming back to me as we have Sebastian on the way to feudal age is like the classic, like, because back then you could see the pings in the lobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there'd be like one guy and he's like 310 ping. And then of course, the guy with 310 ping is like, kick player 8, he lag.
Yeah.
Click player 8, he
diversion.
lag. And then you got these two
diversion.
guys that lag more than anyone, like trying to get the other one kicked. It was just, so funny.
Where there's one guy that's fast proxy and they're trying to figure it out. As we see Komodo coming in for that villager. Vinchester still doesn't have Loom, even with Chinese, because he didn't have any idle TC time there. And yeah, you'd have one guy fast proxy, and everyone would be hard focused on that. And the dude with like 450 ping would just be quietly sitting there, like, I hope no one notices me.
Oh, man. So funny.
This is a big wall from Vinch.
Well, so Vinch is going to try what Leary tried against Sebastian yesterday. And he's just going to go for the full wall so that early army play doesn't work. Sebastian had a spearman collect like a Komodo dragon and what was it, a bear or some animal?
And a tiger, yeah.
And a tiger, yeah, sorry. And he killed a lot of vills there. But here I think Vinchester has done his homework. He's going to have most of his walls down. And this almost feels like a fast castle from Vinch.
Dude, the sound that Leary made in the interview yesterday. Leary, what happened with those 3 vills?
That's such a Leary thing. Leary's like thinking noise as he's trying to respond to a funny question is the best.
It's so good. He's all vowels, man. He's all vowels.
So a traditional approach from Sebastian: 2 docks, fire galleys. Pressure's going to be piled on here. He's also going archers.
Mm-hmm.
Vinchester with Chinese.
It's a crazy wall. This
is going
wild.
Full wall, no ships.
Cav archers.
And he's going to click up. Yeah, that or crossbow. I think
could be.
Maybe crossbow's a little bit better because you at least can make some units on the way up, so you're not completely without army, but fast castle.
Dude, Sebastian needs to go forward with this fire. He's playing defensive.
This is what I love about the map, though, and this is what I love about players like Vinch. Like, Vinch knows that every game Sebastian's played, and most players have played, everyone's making Navy. So he's just bought himself time with history, essentially. If Sebastian had moved forward, he'd be killing fish. But now by the time he gets there, Vinchester's going to have a couple fires out. It's just like pure confidence from Vinchester that his opponent is just going to expect the meta here.
Sebastian sees the full walls. Now you got to go forward with the fires.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play defense. It doesn't make sense, dude. It really doesn't.
No, I mean, he's still going to conserve his archers. He still does have enough fire galleys. At a certain point, maybe he moves forward. His castle age time could still be competitive, but yeah, just sneaky from Vinch. There was a weakness for Sebastian. He definitely falls into the category of so good that he will almost always do the thing that has worked before, right? But he clicks up at a pretty reasonable time. So he's has 9 fishing ships versus 7. He benefits from that. He's got 4 archers. He'll probably make more. And he still could eventually kill Vinchester's fish, keep his fish in this, have solid archer numbers here. It's not too bad. But very, like, relaxed Stranded game compared to some of the other games. Like, we would have already seen 10 units go down at this stage in the other sets.
I mean, Vinch is just lucky that Sebastian didn't come forward with those ships.
I agree. But I don't know how lucky he's going to be in 3 minutes. Because Sebastian will defend his own fish, assuming he reacts here on the left. And then he's in a position to probably get the upgrades. And Vinch is not going to be contesting water anymore. Vinch is going to go land. And he's trying to hide knights, dude. Look at the double stable move from Vinchester.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky. I kind of like it. I don't know if it's... I mean, it's certainly not bad. He didn't take any losses here. I guess maybe if Sebastian would have been more aggressive, it would have been seen as bad. But yeah, Knights are going to come out. Sebastian also sees the range, so he's expecting crossbow. He is never expecting Knights to be out in the field.
He's going to see this villager. He's going to see the villager, right? With the spearman, he doesn't see the villager. He's got another archer.
He's going to come to the hill. He's going to pop. If he pops his archers out right now, this would be so bad.
And the villagers are going forward. The knights are here. The archers are there. Okay, it's not too many knights. We've got 3 here, and Sebastian can quick wall in his vills and pull the knights back to the TC.
Vinch didn't see the TC. He also is distracting the TC fire. Could have been worse for Sebastian, but the knights are in, and the knights pay off for Vinchester. What a crazy moment there. Sebastian just had no clue this whole game that it was going to be knights from Vinch. Vinchester didn't see that town center, though. I think it's key, though, that he didn't lose a single knight there. And also, I think he kept his fish alive. He still hasn't lost his fishing ships behind this. To Sebastian's fire galley. So Sebastian
hasn't even come forward.
Yeah, Sebastian's going to do it now. Maybe on both sides. But yeah, he's got a lot to worry about at the moment.
Like, if you're playing Dravidians against Chinese, I don't think the winning play is to sit back and let Chinese just cook with their eco.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you have to take advantage of your early bonuses.
How big a deal will it be that Vinchester was able to advance across the map and build these 2 buildings here of all places?
Huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
And if he gets a TC in the middle, he'll have max vision on the entire area. He's got Town Watch coming in now, so he'll be able to see whatever Sebastian is doing, and he's got the siege set up behind the woodline, which even Sebastian is going to struggle to micro against.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Scorpion. I would have preferred Mangonels so you could push the TC. This is interesting. There's a lot of weak knights here for Vinch that he wants to heal up, but he's got the hill, he's got armor, and there's just not many crossbows because of the attacks earlier, and another good find for Vinchester here. It's just 3 crossbows for Sebastian.
Finally, the fires come in.
Yeah.
Fires are coming in from the right side. Fires are coming in from the left side. These fires are tweaking on the right, but they're going to find fish on the left.
Yeah, so this could have happened earlier for Sebastian. And, oh, man, he might miss some of the fish on the left. But this is all about the middle push now from Vinch. And if Vinch is able to get enough siege. We actually have elephant archers from Sebastian.
Elephant archers. Okay. More fish coming out from Sebastian, too. So he's trying to expand his advantage. And he's got enough fires to easily clear the fish from Vinchester.
Vinch also has to heal up those knights for a while. But this TC, dude, is such a liability. This is what you want. You want to control the hill, but it feels like this game is 10 times as hard for Sebastian, even though he has fish.
It will be a little bit annoying for Vinchester here. He still has food in the bank, but he's spending it on techs, so he needs to get his farming eco set up right now. That's the next step for him. So no more knights. Just stall out the knights a little bit. Get your farm eco set up. Keep the villagers coming out because you've just lost your fishing chips.
There's a monk, and the monk is going to get 1 conversion, and the other monk doesn't get a conversion because Vinchester deletes. Man, Vinchester is attacking the TC from the bottom of the hill. I think he's got to reposition his siege here and get to the top of the hill, like the same height at least.
It is interesting he goes from that angle, right?
Yeah. It's
just kind of...
I would be worried. I guess you're not that worried against Dravidians that they can swoop in with something fast. But I would be a little worried that if you get to the bottom of the hill, they could surround your buildings, surround your army, and you can't get back. I think it might be a pathing issue right now for him.
I think he's right-clicking the TC, and the Mangonels are just getting confused. Yeah. Another villager goes down from Sebastian.
I think
wall these Mangonels in, maybe, could be a play as well if you're Vinchester, although you are the one with the melee units.
Here come the elephant archers. They're tanky. And nice job there from Sebastian. The 1 knight he converted got the assist there, plus the elephant archers as well. Dude, elephant archers is actually saving him. I don't know if he'll actually win, but if you would have continued with crossbows, you would have had no chance.
Usually you can't afford the food costs for them, but he's got 15 fishing ships.
With Dravidians.
So, yeah, it's going to be okay for him as long as he stays on 1 or 2 TCs. He can continue producing, and yeah, he's idling his TCs just so he can afford those things.
But there's only 2 Mangonels, and the elephant archers are not going to die very quickly against this. And then if he gets conversions as well, this could be big. He doesn't have the hill. He has to split the elephants. The light cav will die for Vinch. The light cav are going to kill
nice.
one.
Light cav snipes
2.
all 4, maybe?
He's going to get all 4. And now the knights are on the hill. The siege is on the hill. The monks from Vinch can convert the elephants. And Sebastian's just completely off the hill now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get an elephant archer converted. He wants to take care of those monks somehow, but there's no way to take care of those monks.
You just got to kill him.
Come back and fight this.
You just got to kill him. He's going to kill 1. He's going to kill 2. He didn't lose an elephant. Hold on.
Damn. But he's losing his TC. Nothing to fight the mangonels. Only 1 elephant archer there. The knights, they go down slow to the elephant archers. Another TC coming up from Sebastian as he comes back out for that 1 tile of gold. That's a big risk here. The mangonels from Winchester are holding that hill.
He can take out these mangonels. Oh, he splits into it.
Shit. Oh,
he splits into it. Monk, I need a monk. Oh, they're
so
so
much
weak.
damage.
Sebastian knows he needs to take care of this, but Vinch knows as well that that he's got Sebastian on the ropes right now. Yeah, every elephant conversion is huge. 4 mangonels now with the hill. Best of luck, Sebastian.
Oh,
I mean, it's Sebastian, one of the fastest players in the game, trying to split one of the slowest units in Castle Age. And here he goes. He has to clear this up. He advances into the siege. He'll try and take out the monks, the siege, the knights, but I think there's just too much here.
So weak. There's still 2 mangonels alive somehow. The elephants are so weak, man. And now they're just not doing enough damage against the mangonels. The elephant archers are going down. And Sebastian calls the GG, tosses in the well-played. Winchester wins 3rd place. Sebastian, though, he gave it a good run. He had a good run in this tournament.
Yeah, so 4th seed ends up in 4th place in Wandering Warriors Cup. Maybe the only placement based on the seeding that actually fit and made sense from the start. But what a tournament from Sebastian. He played really well. Could have easily made a deeper run beyond 4th. I think he's really satisfied. But this game, man, I mean, Winchester's creativity with the back stables.
The full walls. Yeah,
and
then Sebastian just not punishing it at all.
Yeah.
And it's like Winchester knew exactly how Sebastian was going to approach that.
Yeah, because I think most people have gone aggressive on land and aggressive on water in Feudal Age. And Winchester just simply didn't. You could tell that Sebastian thought his opponent was going crossbows. That 1 archer inside the archer range was something that Sebastian had seen with his spearmen. And then the stables were behind. So, yeah, it popped out with the villas to build the TC, popped out with the archers, lost a bunch of units there, and the snowball kind of went from there. Well played from Vinch. He gets 3rd place. So, we've got a final to get to. The final's going to have some crazy energy. Maybe some of the strategies from the 3rd place match will be chosen there. But in the tournament, that has been nothing but surprises. We've got ACCM and Leary coming up next. Lots to say on that. I think we'll take a short break and get to it. I imagine they're probably drafting now too, Dave. So,
yep.